The live well is here.
It's a live world. Time for us to send out all the love.
Send it. Send it out, dude. All right.
We are live. What's up, everybody?
Share
it's the
it.
part of the show where we
move this
forward everything and share it.
See me, because I look like Wilson from Home Improvement right now. Much better.
Recording of episode 16.
So 69.
What's up, everybody in the live studio audience? It's that time of the show again. What time is it?
It's time to get ill.
Nice. Live recording of the podcast is happening now. Paste. Did you post on Twitter?
I have not.
I can. And we'll get started.
Get it started.
Just gotta keep them separated.
That reminds me of playing Jet Grind Radio back in the day. It's not even on the soundtrack. I don't think. Whoops. The Ninja. So if people are watching this when it's not live and it's a recording, we put this up a few minutes early so people can get the tweets and stuff and, you know, come join the action so they don't miss out on everything. So give them an extra 5 or 10 minutes to get in here. Hey, everyone! Get in here!
I usually cut this part out of the YouTube video, actually.
Well, Facebook is still going to be there. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
gonna be
sure
cut,
enough.
So.
And we gotta give a shout out in return for a shout out.
This Nigel said, "It's here. Love recording of episode 16."
Who's here?
That's what you just put. It's here. Love recording of episode
stupid.
16. Oh, shit. And then you have another link for 3 minutes ago.
Because, stupid.
It's time. The live recording is here. Be part of the show. Let me click on the link to this one.
It's because, stupid.
Okay, so that one's legit.
They're both legit. It's Twitter. My Facebook and Twitter are linked, so it does it, and I keep forgetting to undo that because it's causing issues.
Well, this seems fine. The one from 3 minutes ago is working fine.
I forgot it did that. No, we got a little bit of a shout out from our buddies at the Happy Hour podcast during Free Pay Florida over the weekend.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll have to.
Happy Hour. I've seen him around. Who else did I see him? Dang it, it's going to bother me. I've seen him on my Facebook timeline with like other developers in the area that have been talking with him or something.
Yeah. That and there's mutual friends.
Yeah.
Like you and Johnny are about the same age. No, he's a little older, but I think you guys have a lot of mutual friends. I looked one time.
Gotcha.
Angie Bink and stuff.
Shelby probably looked because she's a Facebook creeper.
She is a fucking freaking Facebook stalker.
Oh, snap. Okay. So, I tweeted that.
Let me get my chat up so I can watch chat.
I done tweeted that.
So when my mom says hi, I can at least be like, "Hey, Mom."
Hello. Okay.
If you think about it, she's our most consistent poster.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to moms.
Tweeter. I'm gonna retweet the retweet. Retweetception. Boom. So that should work now. Reload it.
Okay.
Oh, damn. It didn't retweet correctly. It made me retweet through the other account. Hold on.
We are starting off the show right.
Many social networks here, man.
Okay, headphones can come off, which means it's about time to start the show.
Okay, here we go. Retweet? Do it. That's not what I wanted to retweet. That's the wrong one. What? I'm just gonna log into it.
So we're about ready to get started, guys. Thanks for tuning in the live and or the recorded or the audio recorded. So I don't think this part will be on it because we're not recording audio. I'm trying to figure out Twitter.
Oh, you already did it.
1,000 followers and can't figure it out.
Dude, realistically, it's like 100. Okay. We'll see. I didn't realize you already did it through that one too. Dude, I'm tired. I need to get my energy back. Whoop whoop!
It's 9 o'clock.
Dude, I got up early for me. This username and password didn't match our records. Okay, we're good to go.
Let me know you're ready to record.
If it will do it live. Here we go.
So Ryan.
So Nate. That's so Raven.
He giggled because we talked about me always saying "so Ryan" to start off the podcast.
He's a seamstress. He likes to sew.
It's time of the show where we're going to do two things. We've been doing it for a while now. It's give shout out to our listeners.
I thought you were going to say kicking ass and chewing bubble gum.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
Well, we can only do one thing. Dang it.
So we're going to go with the top 5 cities around the world.
International.
Because we are an international
Worldwide.
podcast. Trademark.
Oh, I should have my blazer on. It would look more official.
So, finally, some local love. Orlando, Florida taking number 1 spot. Our friends haven't truly abandoned us. And then we get Lancaster, California.
California.
Addlestone, United Kingdom.
UK. Sounds good.
Munich, Germany, or München if you're a German listener. I took German in high school.
All right.
I know some stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I got you.
9, 10.
Cape Town, South Africa.
11.
And then, I'm going to say this wrong, Doha, Qatar.
Doha, Qatar.
And then bringing in the couple other honorable mentions, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Morgantown, West Virginia, and St. Kilda, Australia. Australia's been popping in there for a while.
I think it's the game-life balance, guys. If so, appreciate it.
Thank you. And if we go by countries, obviously UK is leading out, but we are spread out. Our number 2 country is not concentrated in one city. I'll give you 5 guesses and you won't get it right.
You said something earlier. It was something weird, like Kenya or something.
Number 2 is Somalia.
Somalia.
Shout out to Somalia. You're shattering our preconceived notions of your nation. And then we got UK, Germany, South Africa, Qatar, France, Australia, Netherlands, Brazil, Australia, Iraq, and Guatemala all checking in.
Speaking of countries and stuff, kind of unrelated. I never knew my dad's side heritage, so I always knew on my grandparents' side that I know that I was Irish, but I'm Norwegian on my dad's side, which I didn't know, which is awesome, because Vikings and shit.
What did you think? There's a lot of comments that can go with that whole conversation.
I just thought that was cool. I think Norway, metal, because they're close to Sweden, and Sweden's all about metal.
Also, our listener of the week last week was Kale.
Yeah.
This week, I'm going to go ahead and give it to 2 people. Our moms. Big supporters of the show.
All right.
So, Moms, you are the official listeners of the week.
Thank
and
you.
You get our appreciation.
Thank you for listening.
And my mom's due to check in and give me a... There it is!
Cleveland,
She just said it! I didn't even know that.
Fan.
So that was unplanned. Actually, it was kind of planned because she logs in every night that we podcast. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. If you would do us all the small kindness on Google Play or iTunes or however you listen to the show, hit the heart, hit the subscribe buttons, hit the like buttons.
Yeah, and leave us reviews.
Leave us reviews. It helps put it. The more reviews we get, it actually helps with where we show up in search results, like on the iTunes store or the Google Play store. And next week we'll actually have a few more places I didn't know existed that we'll be able to say that we are a proud member of.
Sweet.
I found a whole list of some podcasting places, and I submitted and just waiting for the you're in.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the word spread a little more.
And then hopefully next week we'll have some really big news.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. It'd be nice. I'm excited.
Yeah. It could be exciting.
So we're teasing sometime between now and the end of 2018. We're gonna have exciting news.
Exciting.
So I'm gonna put a 2-year cap on it.
Let me get this one all closed out.
All right. Again, thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh, dude, when I edited the podcast this last time,
Yeah.
I usually export all the clips after I edit them as a WAV file, and I did this time as well. But apparently, I clicked underneath the regular 16-bit wave. There's a GSM mobile wave, and it sounds like crap. It sounds awful. So I had to redo every single one of the ones that I cut up. It took me twice as long to make the last episode.
I'm sorry.
That's my own fault, because I'm dumb. Episode 16. SC.
My mom called herself an official creeper of the show.
Official.
All right, we're going to talk about Helldivers.
Helldivers. Okay, we got one clip there. I'm going to go ahead and... I'm just going to save these two just because having stuff not work is bad. Ryan, save, file new, Zoop, recording.
Ryan, you were telling me about a game that you made a video for that'll be up on your YouTube channel.
Yes, and it's about freedom, just like last week. Broforce keeping the
We're going with the freedom
going.
theme song?
Yes.
Or theme.
Yes.
So tell me about this game.
Helldivers is a online, well, it can be online. It's a multiplayer twin stick third person shooter, 3D, as opposed to Broforce, which was 2D. And it's basically you're inside Starship Troopers. Is pretty much the game. Now, it's made by a company called Arrowhead Game Studios, who has also made some other games that might be recognizable. Magica is a game that they made, and that one's pretty popular as far as indie's concerned. And they made the latest Gauntlet game, Gauntlet Slayer Edition.
I've been playing Gauntlet for a very long time.
That Gauntlet Slayer Edition is awesome. I didn't realize they made that until today when I looked them up. That game is sweet.
Nice.
So the idea behind Helldivers is their tagline says, players must work together to protect Super Earth and defeat the enemies of mankind in an intense intergalactic war.
So that's better than regular Earth?
We're on Super Earth.
Okay.
So there's a... you can play one player or multiplayer, and the main thing is the galactic campaign. And it's really strange the way that it's set up. It's kind of hard to follow if you're not consistently playing the game. But like every day, and I believe it's real world days, different things happen in the game and are kept track of, and there's like a log of it. Whenever you log into the campaign, it shows day 0, these places were conquered, this front was liberated, day 2, and so on and so on. And I believe it's real world things that have happened. So if some players have beat these planets enough times, it'll show up in the story that it's been conquered, which is really different. I haven't
That's
seen
pretty cool.
something
So
like
it's a
that.
persistent, slightly persistent world. Then?
Yeah, so like the last time I logged in, it's been over 2 weeks since I played previously, and we'd conquered Super Earth, and it's like, here's all the days. There's like 12 days until that it took to conquer the other planets and save Super Earth or whatever, and then it rolls the credits, and it's like, thank you, soldier. So in that matter, it's kind of weird because it's like I just logged in and I have to sit through these credits, but it's cool that there's like that whole camaraderie thing. It's not a competitive game. You're not playing against other people. It's all cooperative.
It's to the same goal.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's for the same goal. So the main thing is that galactic campaign, and there are different quests within the campaign. There are different planets that you can go to, and these are how your quests kind of differentiate a little bit as far as the enemies that you encounter. So, like there's a bug planet where everything's some sort of bug thing, and like the main enemies, all of them have like similar enemy types. They just have slightly different mechanics for those types. So the main type you'll encounter is a scout, and it'll like dig its, like for the bug ones, I believe it digs itself out of the ground, and if you don't kill it within like a second of it seeing you, it'll do an alert, and it'll spawn like 3 elites that are just harder to kill. They're not
Gotcha.
like really hard to kill, but they're just annoying. I mean, you could pistol the one thing down, but the elites come up, you got to shoot them a couple times like a shotgun. It takes some work. So you'll find yourself mostly just trying to shoot those scouts as soon as you see them, which is kind of hard to do with a controller. Originally, this came out for PS4. Yeah, the version I was playing was on PC. It was through Steam, and I think it's on Vita and everything PlayStation related. That's one thing that's kind of difficult because it's twin stick, but it doesn't have a laser. Like a laser sight is an add-on that you can add to your gun at the space of like one of your inventory
slots.
Things. Yeah, but you don't need it necessarily. It just makes it easier to see what you're aiming at, because sometimes, I mean, a twin stick shooter, if you played any twin stick shooters that are like fully any direction, if you don't have something to show where you're aiming at, it's just kind of like, I don't know, because your character's pretty small.
Yeah.
But that's why I usually use a shotgun.
When you play through the campaign mode and it's been beaten, when you go back in, is it like randomized? Is it like different planets?
It's really strange the way that it works. Like, I wish I knew the exact details of it, but I believe like the game is extremely procedural. Like a lot of it is procedural. So like the planets that you go to, the map layout is procedural. The quest objectives within the map layouts are procedural. And then the levels that are available, I believe, are procedural within the planet, which is pretty crazy. But I think it is like, if you're defeating things fast enough, you have more quests available at any given time. Otherwise, there are less and less and less available of like different difficulties. So like maybe you didn't conquer a planet quick enough and they took over, so now you can't play that planet.
Gotcha.
Which is, I don't know. It's all part of this weird interconnected thing. And I could be totally wrong, but I know there have been times where I logged in and I was unable to access certain planets. I don't know if that's the reason, but it's kind of weird. But anyway, we got the bug planet, there's the scouts, and then they bring up elites and they just do more damage. And then there's, when you get into the higher difficulties, like the difficulties go from 0 to like 11, I think. Once you get to like 5 or 6, you start seeing these like tank equivalents. So like these massive bugs will come out of the ground and they'll be armored, and you can only like kill them with rocket launchers or like in their small like weak spots. And some of them like charge you and have a weak spot on the back for the bug ones. The other bug one, like it shoots these tentacle things into the ground and then they come up like way out and they deal tons of damage, and that's the only way you can get to it is from the front when the weak spot is open. So every type of planet that you go to has like the same kind of structure of enemies. So there's the bug one, which I just talked about. There's a cyborg planet, and I haven't played a whole lot of the cyborg planet, to be honest, so I can't remember the details of the enemies on that one. But the Illuminate is the last one, and they're robots, like robot aliens, and the scouts kind of fly around and they stealth, so you can see them like Predator. You kind of like see the outline of them, and then they de-stealth, and these shielded bots come out of the ground, and they have like a shotgun thing that they shoot at you. that's like this electric blast, and you got to knock their shield down first. And like some of the other enemies they spawn are like snipers, so you'll see like way off of the screen a laser pointer comes in, and then somebody's like does like this huge blast, and it does a ton of damage. And there's a melee guy that looks like a jouster from American Gladiators. He's got like the jousting stick, and he shoots this ball that like kind of homes at you really slow, and then he gladiators you. And then there's other ones that are like these shielded dome things that make like giant laser paths and stuff. There's some pretty nutso ones like that. The Illuminate, but
it's called a mecha of this guy on the video.
All right, mecha something.
It's like a pilot EXO 44.
Oh no, that's mine. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's not an enemy thing. So, like I was saying, all the levels are procedurally generated, and there's different types of missions within each one. And there's a lot of mission types, and they're all actually pretty fun. Like I haven't felt like any of the missions, like when I jumped into it, was like, oh, it's the same old boring crap. One of the harder ones is usually the only mission you'll get for that level is the exterminate. And the exterminate missions are like you're on a small piece of land and it says kill 60 enemies, and it'll just spawn them in waves, and you have to keep using your all
various
your skills
abilities.
and things to destroy them. The next one is the destroy objective. So like for the bug planet, there's these big hives, and you can either kill them with like a heavy weapon, like a very, very heavy weapon, or you have to set this nuke. And well, let me explain before I get too much more into the missions, because the details of some of the items that you have to use for these things is actually pretty interesting. You have a primary weapon, which is like it could be, what do we have? Like assault rifles, shotguns, SMGs, lasers, explosive weapons, things like that, like sniper rifles, stuff like that. All the weapons can be upgraded. You find science like randomly placed around levels, and it'd just be like this glowing bulbous looking thing, and you collect it, and after you get 10 science you get 1 point, and the point can be used to upgrade
your weapons,
everything. It could be used to upgrade anything that you have. There's more than just weapons in the game.
Okay.
Talking about patriotic stuff, some of the names of the weapons, we have Justice, Patriot, Liberator, Constitution, and the Double Freedom. It's pretty.
Double freedom.
It's a shotgun.
Nice.
But those are like the primary weapons you can have. You also have a sidearm, which is usually a pistol. But there's an interesting thing in the game, which is it works kind of the same way as Magicka. If anybody's familiar with Magicka, you usually like hold down a trigger, you do a certain button combination thing. So in this case, you have to do directional. So it's like up, down, left, left, right, and it'll show you on the screen like what things you have to hit. I saw it
on the live
stream. And it brings up what's called a stratagem. I believe it's a stratagem. Could be wrong. Yeah, I think it's a stratagem. And it's one of your abilities that you can pre-equip before the game starts. So like the loadout that I like using is a turret that like auto aims and fires.
Yeah.
The ammo restock backpack, which takes up a back slot, which some weapons can take up back slots because they're so massive. Then I get a mech with a machine gun and rocket launchers on it.
Yeah, which I'm watching the mech. It's pretty cool.
The mech just wrecks everything. And then the fourth slot is usually open. I either do like a second mech, or if you need to get around faster, maybe like a vehicle or something like that. Or occasionally I'll try to do like airstrikes, because you can call in airstrikes.
And sometimes a Nux Hell Bomb.
The Hell Bomb, I think, is the one for destroying objectives that it automatically gives you. That's not one that actually takes up a slot.
Oh, okay.
And the Hell Bomb sucks because you do a stratagem, and there's a cooldown. There's like a timer before it like loads. So for the Hell Bomb, you throw out the stratagem, and then it's like Hell Bomb incoming, and it'll take like 30 seconds or something for it to actually drop the Hell Bomb. And then you have to arm it and run.
Oh yeah, you just literally just armed it. You have this gift for like not watching the video and
not watching it at all. But that one does like a huge nuclear explosion, and if you get caught in it, you're gonna die. But luckily, when you're playing with if you're playing by yourself, you get like a free respawn. But when you're with other people, they can throw a stratagem out and bring you back.
Okay.
So they can like re-recruit you.
Laser's pretty cool.
Yeah, the laser was the main weapon I was using in that, and then I just got it because it didn't take ammo. So that's the basics of your different like stratagem slots. Stratagems are like the most interesting part of the game, I think, because there's so many different loadouts you can do. You could be a healer if you want. You could be like a scout. You could use scouting drones to see like where enemies are on the radar, so you know not to go certain ways. There's multiple mechs. There's mechs with flamethrowers and some with like just rockets. The one I use has a machine gun because it's like infinite ammo when you level it up. Because all your stratagems you can level up just like you level up your weapons.
Okay.
It uses the same currency.
So how hard is it to get those science drops?
It's pretty easy. You just walk around. You have to just look around the levels because it's all procedural, so they're just randomly placed. And there's usually like 4 to 6 of them in a level, and it takes like 10 of them to get 1 point.
Okay.
And it's usually for all the first tier of upgrades, it's usually 1 point. Some of the second tier is 1 or 2 points. I don't think it goes above that. Maybe some go to 3, but usually your stratagems just have like 2 upgrades and then they're done. The mech was one of the main things I just fully upgraded to get like full ammo, extra health, all that crap. So that's the basics of the stratagems, and it'll make a little more sense when I talk about the missions now, because you know what the stratagems are and kind of how they work a little bit. So the first was exterminate, kill a bunch of enemies. The second was destroy, which you usually have to use the big bomb, but there are like rocket launchers and stuff that you can bring in through stratagems or airstrikes that can destroy it. There's a retrieval, which sometimes it shows you where the object is to retrieve. Other times it shows you a giant circle, and it's like, it's somewhere in this circle. So you have to pick that up and bring it to point B, and you can only use your pistol, only your sidearm. And it's especially bad when you're playing on the Illuminate planet because there's snow, and snow makes you walk like 20% of your normal walk speed. It's miserable.
That sounds god-awful.
It makes it really difficult. When I was playing in single player, it was very hard. Similar to the retrieval is a escort mission, where you have to escort something from point A to point B. It moves by itself. You just have to make sure it doesn't get shot. And it's usually a train, and you can damage it. That's one thing. Friendly fire is pretty real in this game. I can't remember if you can shoot the other guys with your guns, but you can hit them with your stratagems. Your stratagem throws out like this ball. And then when...
a thing called the sky, right?
And then it rockets it out of the sky, like this crate. And that can hit anything. So if you like threw it out at your friend, you can crush him with your stratagems.
Nice.
It's pretty ridiculous. The first time I saw people play the game, that's the main thing I was noticing, is like everybody's crushing everybody with these damn things. Especially at the beginning of a level, because you're throwing out just a bunch of them just to get all
get everything
geared up. Yeah. The next mission type is deploy. So there will be like something specific to the mission that you're on, like an artillery launcher. And you have to, like, the first thing you have to do is, like, turn it on. And then you have to do, like, a left, right, up, down thing. And then it's like, okay, now you have to make sure that the coordinates are booked right, and you have to button mash. And it's like, okay, now find the shells and load them in. So there's shells just, like, moved around. You got to move them to where the thing is, and the belt will suck them in. And it's like, arm to fire, and you do, like, a massive button mash thing. And all the while, enemies are spawning more and more often.
He's trying to kill you.
Yeah. Like, it seems like all the objectives, they have, like, larger clusters of enemies.
Yeah, on the screen, you're getting hosed.
I was getting wrecked. I hadn't played single player before.
You have all these, like, spider things just destroying you.
Yeah.
You've died, like, 4 times in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, I got screwed on that. The next type is and this one is a pain in the ass. Diffuse missions. So one of your back slot will be taken up, so you can't have like a good thing like an ammo restock. You have a metal detector, and while you're using the metal detector, you can't
old
do
man at the beach.
Anything else. Yeah, and there's a grid. There's one place that will have a grid that you have to use your metal detector, and there are landmines there, and you have to defuse 2 out of the 3 landmines in order to, get a successful mission. All the while, like I said, when there are objectives, enemies start coming from everywhere. So usually you want to like set up a turret and have somebody block the other side, and like set up their own turret and just make sure that nothing can get into that area. Because if it starts chasing you down, your first instinct is, I should probably run, but that's a minefield. So you don't want to do that. And the way the metal detector works, it beeps more just like a regular one. So it's like beep, beep. And when you get closer, it's like beep, 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 beep. And it beeps super fast. and you'll be like right on it, and it'll like pop up out of the ground. But if you walk like a little too far, it will explode on you. And if you defuse it incorrectly, it'll explode on you. This is one place where you should probably be playing with mouse and keyboard. The D-pad on my Xbox controller sucks. And when you have to defuse, it's a string of like 15 directions. Like up, down, up, right, left, up, down, right, up. It's like, really? And this thing's coming at you, like running at you. You're like, and you can't shoot anything because you're sitting there with a stupid... And it looks like an antenna sticking out of your head when you're walking around with it. It's like, ugh. It's so bad. But luckily they're not super common. I think that's only in the cyborg world that you have to do defuse.
Gotcha.
You have... Another mission type is assassinate, so you have to find a certain like rare mob, and it'll have a name, and you have to kill it. Those are pretty simple. Captures are also simple, like capture the flag type of thing. It literally raises a flag, and you just have to stand near it and make sure there's no enemies near it. That's super simple. You can actually do that while you're in a mech, so those are no problem. And then the extraction is at the end of every level. When you've done all the other things, you have to get to the extraction point. You activate it, and then you have to guard it for a minute and a half, basically. Okay. And I don't think they can kill it or anything like that. You just have to not die. And then a ship comes in, and if you're under it, it'll crush you, just like everything else in the game.
Gravity is real.
Yeah, then you have to get in, and it extracts you, flies you out of it. It's like, mission complete, yeah! Super Earth! So every mission that you do gives you rewards. If you've already done a mission of like a certain difficulty, it'll just give you XP. Mm-hmm. But some of them have like specific rewards for that mission difficulty. So it'll say, if you beat this, you get a new stratagem. You get a turret that you can jump into that shoots like rail cannons or something like that. And like everything is awesome in this game. Every item that you get is like, oh, so badass. And every time you see a difficulty one that you're like, that has an item, I want to do that. Like, I need to do that. I need to know what the laser backpack is. Like,
I just want one.
Yes, I need that. So that's the whole goal of playing the game is just to get more science, to upgrade more things, and to unlock new things. I think it showed that I had 18 hours, but I know I've had more than that because Steam didn't track all of it. It probably had like 30 hours in it, and there's a ton of stuff that I haven't unlocked.
Nice.
With 2 players, which is how I primarily have played it with myself and Kale, we can do difficulties up to like 6, maybe 7, and it goes to 11.
Oh wow! So there's still level.
There's a ton of stuff that we can't even do. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we haven't been able to get yet. But you can play up to 4 players, and it's online or local.
Oh, so both? That's nice.
You can, if you're playing a local game, you can throw a beacon out, and it'll say, matchmaking, come here. We want people to help us.
So you and Kale could be playing, and I could come in?
Yes. You could just rocket out of the sky. And if we were set as public, you could do that at any time. You can just come in out of the sky, and you're like, what up, bitches?
Yeah, nice.
And just start wrecking things in the middle of a match, which is pretty awesome. The armor in the game, you can unlock different types of armor, but it's fully cosmetic. You can change your helmet.
Yeah, I saw you in the beginning. You kind of changed capes.
You change the helmet, and then your body piece, and then a cape. It's not super diverse, but there's like 20 or so of each. So there's different combinations.
Give it a little bit of feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit. And if you're like, oh, I'm playing in the snow, I gotta have my Arctic cape this time.
Yeah.
Like, quit cramping my style. You just made the same as my guy. Like, don't look like me. There's a lot of the DLC has cosmetic stuff in it. Unfortunately, there are some pay-to-win DLCs. Like, some items that, like, you pretty much just need in order to succeed. Really? Like, all-terrain boots are in one of the DLCs, and it makes it so, like...
Snow doesn't affect you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's a big deal. There's a vehicles one too. But if I have to say one thing about it, the game is so affordable that even after you get the DLC, you haven't like paid the price of a AAA game, which it is absolutely worth the cost of.
So what are we talking price-wise?
The game itself, just without DLC, which I believe comes with 2 of the originals that were DLC on PlayStation, on Steam are already like built into the game. So you get a couple extra alien worlds. I'm not sure if it started with a single world and they added extra worlds afterwards, because I just got the the PC Steam version.
Yep.
But it's $20 for that version, and then all the DLC I believe you can buy as a collective for $25.
So 45 gets you the full expansion.
Everything.
Cool.
That's possible in the game, and it gives you a lot of extra stratagems and stuff like that. Well, like I said, well worth $20. It was worth the DLC for me. The overall like rating on Steam is 90%, 92, something like that.
That's good.
And it's been out for a while. It's super fun. They have it at the local watering hole now. There's a place locally that just reopened called Games on Tap, and I saw they had it on their screens, which is smart because it's perfect for something like that.
Yeah.
They got like Overwatch, Battlefield, Helldivers like right next to it. It's super sweet. But that's the basics of it. I really like this game.
1 out of 10. Give it a scale. 10 is
10.
10.
No, it's a 10. Yeah. It's I would say on par with Broforce. Might be better. Like I know my experience when I was playing it, I haven't felt like a game was that fun. I can't remember like the time before that I've like when I was playing it, I was like, this game is so awesome. When Kale and I were first playing, we played it for like 7 hours. We're like, this game is so badass. Like every time we're unlocking new things, we're like, what does this do? It's an ooze cannon that melts everything. Like, oh. And there's so much still left to unlock.
See, I like the idea that it's local and online multiplayer, because that's the kind of the issue with us playing games together at times is your internet's horrible.
Yeah.
And me having a wife and kid, it's harder to get out to your house, and especially like during the week.
Yeah.
So this might actually be something we can do. And
possibly, like my internet supported World of Warcraft. I'm not sure how intensive that is, like command-wise.
Data-wise?
Yeah, I think it's pretty low. But, I mean, if that's, like, the standard for online multiplayer, I should be able to play if, like, we're not doing anything else.
I may pick it up and we'll have to try it out.
I would say it's worth it. It's badass. Like, if you're watching the video and it looks at all interesting, play it. You have to play it with friends, though. You gotta play it with friends. Because by yourself, you're not going to get the full experience. You gotta play with somebody. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full experience.
So, actually, with that being said, what is your Steam ID? If
My
someone
Steam
wanted
ID.
to come play with you and find you.
Oh, man.
I'll give mine out because I have a lot of games too. So it's Nate, N-A-T-E, Gray, G-R-E-Y, 0130.
Mine doesn't have numbers. It's Uber Robot, but there's only one R. Uberobot.
Yeah. Well, here's the issue. My name is actually Nate Gray.
Yeah.
But it's also an X-Man. There's a very popular Marvel character named Nate Gray.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's the son of
Jean Grey?
Jean Grey from the future, from a different like future or something.
Gotcha.
And because of that, I have to always add shenanigans to my own damn name. So it's so it's Nate Gray 0130.
You should have did 2099 because they had that series where they took all
I
like
did, yeah.
Nate Gray 2099. Better.
So
futuristic.
add us on Steam. Definitely like playing with people. And then tell us what you think about the game. We have a couple ways you can tell us about it. There's our own Twitters. So yours is
R_Doom
Mine's at the Ninja Fatman.
Yeah.
All together.
And then we have Doom Ninja Cast. Not podcast.
Because
cast.
effing one letter. And I made a promise in like episode 3 that I will be mad every time we mention it. That because of one letter, we can't have it say the whole thing. So drop us a line. Tell us what you think. If you have it already, you want to play, hit us up. And yeah, fun times.
Helldivers.
Helldivers. Freedom.
Export Ep 16. Helldivers. Ryan.
Check in on the...
For the live audience, or those watching the video,
What?
we record in segments. Hey, what's up, Sandra? I didn't see your comment there. Hey!
Hey, girl.
I like that girl. Sandra DD.
You don't like her?
I do.
Oh.
So I like that girl. You said you don't like her? You're like trying to throw me under the bus, dude. I said, you don't like her? What?
You straight said you didn't like her.
But anyway, for those watching the video or the live stream, we record in segments, and then we snip the beginning and end off of it sometimes cut out a little bit of silence areas and freshen it up, and then put little bumpers and stuff between it when we release the episodes on Thursdays. Which also, if you're a Patreon backer, which we'll have all the information for the Patreon after this and on our webpage, you can get the episodes a day early, the fully edited ones. After I finish the edit, it goes up. It's gonna be closer to like 12 hours early because I just started a new employment and I can't do the edits in the morning anymore.
Yeah,
it would require me waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and I can't.
And being about that life.
Yeah, I can't do that. But you can still get it earlier than everybody else. So, all right, we're about to check out the next game. Hopefully, we don't get any copyright stuff since you're taking a video straight off of YouTube. Are you sure this is the right one? Is this
Shut up! This is not like last week.
Monster Galaxy.
Jerk. Are you recording?
This guy. Let me get a new one.
All right, so I bought a really big was it E3? It had a gigantic Humble Bundle. It was literally like 35 games, and it was. Oh, I gotta fix something.
Big Humble Bundle.
Big Humble Bundle. It was like 35 games, and I am distracted.
We're gonna have to restart this.
What's wrong with this screen?
For the recording.
Oh, it's going off the edge a little.
Yeah, it's going off the edge.
Yeah, but...
So, I'm going to cut this recording out, and we're going to restart this, because you pretty much only said Humble Bundle.
I can't play it any other way.
You can shrink the source on the OBS.
Oh, yeah, that's the smart way of doing it.
Anyway, live people.
Yeah, you can see some of the music. So should I stop this clip and?
I stopped mine.
Oh, okay.
We'll just restart it after we got this size right.
How's size left?
You should probably get the video started beforehand, just for recording purposes. Because if it's a game that I haven't played, I like watching it so I can kind of.
Okay.
All right, are we edge to edge here?
It's a little off, but it's the part that's missing.
Your Doom Ninja logo is like encroaching on the video behind your webcam. You got it on the wrong layer, bro.
It's fixed.
This guy. Shrink. Is it shrunken down? Because it takes like 10 seconds to show up on this.
I fixed it.
But now you're cutting off the shrink the logo. Make the logo smaller so it only fits to the left side of your box. How many episodes have we done?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Oh, man. What? This is my podcast too, bro. He said, that's none of your business. Okay, now move that to the layer in front of the video that's playing.
It's fixed. I'm waiting for you to catch up.
Okay, 10 seconds.
It's fixed.
10 seconds. Okay. All right. Let me get another recording started. Let me close out of this.
By the way, that girl likes you too, Ryan.
I saw that, and I liked it. I liked it on the Facebook. I gave her the thumb. All right, we're gonna start.
Back during E3, Humble Bundle had a gigantic bundle. There was like 35 games in it if you spent the $15. And then there was like Twitch Turbo and all kinds of non-game related stuff.
Was it like a standard Humble Bundle where you can pay, 10 cents to get 10 games?
Yeah, but even the dollar thing was really good. But I went and got it all because there was like some extra packs for WildStar, which I was playing a little bit at the time. There was 500 Amazon coins. We have a Kindle Fire, so there was just a ton of value for $15. It's the biggest bundle I've ever seen. With it came a little gem called Monster Loves You. Now, this game is a choose-your-own-adventure is the best way, if you remember those books from way back in the day.
Those books were awesome when I was young.
I
thought
love
they
those.
were the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. I would when I'd get to an ending, you'd be like, "Oh crap, go back 3 pages," and I'd have like 4 fingers stuffed in the book to like, "Oh, this decision might have mattered. I need to go back later."
Yeah, like I'd check the decision and I'd like flip a few pages and see if it said the end or not, and be like, "No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
we're checking the other one."
So you're a monster, and you live in this world that's kind of hidden from the humans. And the game just asks you questions. And here's a scenario, how do you react? And depending on how you react, gain stats. And there is balance, cleverness, ferocity, honesty, kindness, and respect. Those are the different stats in the game. And as you go through these quests and to unlock the story, you get bonuses to those stats. And then, similar to some other games, Dragon Age, I think, does this. If your stat's high enough, it'll give you additional options to answer the question or react.
Okay.
So, like, there's times where something like a monster comes. If your if your ferocity is high enough, you can actually fight it and stand at the ground, or you may have to run away. So, it's part of the game is you can either go really deep into some of these different stats, or like try to be the jack of all trades. Now, there is 900 different options for the story. And it's the crazy story about you starting off as literally this little speck in this brood den, and then you grow up and there's a political intrigue. Believe it or not, like who's going to be the leader of the monsters, and how do you want to interact with the humans? Because right now the humans are kind of, you can either like befriend them or kill them all, or just kind of have this uneasy truce between yourself.
So, explain the visual style for those who aren't watching the video here, so they can kind of get an idea of, because right now it just sounds like there's text on the screen and that's it. So you get a scene, and it's animated, and like things kind of zoom in and zoom out and fade out. There's not like you moving around, but it reminds me. You remember Richard Scarry books? I know the name Richard Scarry, but
if you saw it's kind of like someone liked his stuff a lot and then made monsters out of it instead of cute little rabbits and mice and stuff. So you get these very well done, in my opinion, animated screens. I'd say unique style. And the story comes in, and then it gives you 5 or 2 at the beginning. It's only like 1 or 2 options, and just like the choose your own adventure, you can like. The first time I was like, oh, they're not going to kill me in the beginning, and like the second option, I hit a button, it was like, you're dead, game over. I was like, oh, well, that's a thing, and I had to start over.
Oh, so this is a game that you'll have to break your rule of only playing games once.
Sort of.
Because you might die.
I beat it. I didn't actually go back and play it any other ways. They say there's at least, it's the most weird wording, there's at least 15 endings. Which makes me like, do they not know? Or like, they don't want to give a number? Or is it 16?
There are probably secret endings.
So
there's probably 15 that are pretty easy to find, and there's probably 5 that you can't, or something. They can't find so easily. That's my guess.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
So I really dig this game. I think for me to beat, I went through the political route and ended up negotiating peace between the monsters and humans and getting rid of my main detractor.
So you didn't build a wall around the humans?
Well, I did, but part of it's a fence.
Okay.
That threw me off. It's made by Radical Games and Deja Bond Games. It's 2 people worked on this game, and it's available on pretty much it's Windows, Macs, Linux, Android, and iOS. And it runs it's a little cheaper on the machines as opposed to mobile. I want to say it's $10 on mobile, and it was $7.99 on PC.
It's really strange. Usually the opposite way around.
That's happened a lot recently in games. But it's man, I liked the game, but I don't know I'd pay $10 for it.
Gotcha.
Because it's a good time waster. Like if you're sitting in the doctor's office or waiting on a bus, or something you just need like 10 minutes, you can kind of decision. Oh, that's where it went.
So you pretty much go through the whole game in the 10 minutes? Like you get to the end decision?
It took me, 20 to 30 minutes for me to full clear.
Okay.
And that was me focusing on like one stat though.
Yeah, $10 does seem a little high for that.
But the replay values, I'm weird about replay, but like I focused on cleverness and kindness, I think, were the two like I hit every time. Those are the things. Because there are sometimes after you start playing and you see the decisions, it'll say +1 to this, +2 to this.
Mm.
You can start kind of guesstimating, and you'll be like, oh, this is going to end up me some cleverness bump. And you hit it, and then there's one that'll say clever instead of just the two options. You'll see then a third option with the symbol for cleverness that gives you that. You know, if you use that one, it's just going to bump your stat up even higher.
Gotcha.
So there's, for what it is, I think like a kid would really like this game. I think adults would like this game too. I don't want to make it seem like a kiddie game, but I'm not mad I played it. I would probably wait for it to go on sale. I'd give it a solid 7.
That's pretty good for something that's just stories and decisions without like a heavy gameplay element.
I chuckle because it does make fun of itself a little. There's like, you can either like guide the society, or you can be like literally eat Red Riding Hood and the 3 Little Pigs and stuff. So there's like,
they put like fairy tale stuff that you're familiar with in there?
There's a couple things in there that they allude to, like they're just 3 little piglets, but they're not like the 3 Little Pigs.
Gotcha. Well, it's still,
but there's enough to be like, oh, that's
sometimes
clever.
when things familiar pop up, it just makes it more. You can get into it a little better.
So like one of the first options is your eyes open and a claw's coming at you. What do? There's like defend yourself, swing back, or run away in fear. If you swing back, the game just ends. Like, well, you're little and don't know what you're doing, so this paw crushes you, you're dead. And so you're like, okay, I have to start over now.
Got a little bit of a Neapolitan complex.
Yes. So, like I said, I do enjoy it. The 900 different story options you can eventually kind of navigate yourself to. It's pretty neat.
I think it sounds more impressive than it probably is. Because you get like, what, 2 or 3 decisions every time? There's something out.
In the very beginning, it's 2 or 3, and then as you build up stats, it does expand into more.
Gotcha. So, there is definitely variance from what you're explaining, especially with the different skill types that you get. But ultimately, it boils down to being like a 30-minute or so experience each time. Yeah,
you can get through it pretty quick, especially if you read fast. I tend to scan really quick, so I was able to be like, okay, boom, okay, boom. And like the art style is pretty cool. It's definitely worth checking out. You can check out the live stream of the podcast. There's a video running, so you kind of see the art style before you decide if you want the game.
Yeah.
Like I said, 7 out of 10, solid purchase. Wait for it to go on Steam.
And it
sale.
looks like an all ages type of thing.
Oh yeah, I could argue my daughter could play it if I read it to her, and she's 4. She just can't read.
I could see kids like really liking because all the bright colors and stuff.
Yep, and the monsters are kind of cool looking, and some are cute, and some are even the scary ones are you chuckle at. So check it out.
Monster. Yeah. 16. Monster. Ryan. That's me. In the corner.
That's me in the spotlight. You ever see the video? His arms are choosing my religion. Like
Ice JJ Fish?
No, it's REM. Yeah, but he dances like Ice JJ Fish.
That's where Ice got it from.
Something about you, girl. That was dedicated to Matthew, friend of the show.
Oh man, it'd be so cool if Matthew actually saw this somehow.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a Facebook, but if he somehow saw it, that'd be great. Oh man, I need to stop into TechMate. After I told him after I was making money, I'd stop in and drop off some donuts or something. But I guess I couldn't drop off donuts because I'm not going to be able to go until like 4 o'clock to stop by. Like, you want some lunch? You've already eaten lunch donuts? What do you call between lunch and dinner? You want some Linner donuts? Because there's brunch. So there's got to be Linner.
Clearly Linner.
Linner. Linner.
Leonard chicken dinner.
It's Leonard and Penny from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay. My mom's name is Penny, so it threw me off. I was like, "What's my mom got to do with this?"
What's mom
What are you talking
got to do with it?
Are we talking about Dragon Soul? It's a mobile game.
Dragon Soul. All right, good to go whenever.
Ryan, my wife got me into a game that I'm going to say it's a dumb game, but I play the crap out of it, and this first 35 minutes of every morning are spent playing this freaking game.
Is it Hide the Sausage?
Whoa. We don't just play that in the morning. That's an all-day thing.
He said the first 35 minutes of the morning is always
What I do with the other 33 minutes?
She says, go brush your teeth. We got the game to play.
So, the game's called Dragon Soul. It's made by a game called Per Blue.
It's made by a game? A game is made... Gameception, dude.
It's made by a company called Per Blue, and they make a bunch of mobile games. They're all various range. I looked at a couple of them. Some of them look interesting. So basically, you start off with one hero, and you go through a kind of campaign setting where you fight. And as you go through the campaign, you can unlock. You have to equip your character, and then you can unlock more heroes. And the heroes have different abilities, and there's archetypes. So you have your standard tanks, there's damage dealers, there's support, there's healers, I think is the other one. And there's a myriad of ways to play the game. Now, it does, like most mobile games that are free, I use the word in quotes, free,
quote unquote,
there's pay. You could argue there's pay to win, but it's more like pay to make it faster.
Pay to expedite. That's pretty much what I see most of anymore.
So the cool thing, unlike other games, so like, what's another game? What's the one? Castle
Crashers.
Whatever, like this.
Not Castle Crasher, like Clash Royale?
Clash of or the one before that, Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans, they made it really hard to get the little gems that did things. Mm. This game, you can literally never pay a dime, and if you're willing to invest the time, you'll get fairly far. The characters themselves or heroes, they're all pretty funny. The game makes fun of itself. There's like one of the heroes that me and my wife just got. It's called Unicorgi. It's a corgi with a unicorn horn on it, and it's actually badass.
The art in this game looks really good.
The art is good. Like the little animation and some of the little cool things they've added really make the game shine. And like a lot of the characters, there's a Viking warrior who's also a roller derby. So it's called Roller Warrior.
Of course.
So she's a warrior chick with she's like definitely Viking, like your people, which we've just found out.
You know.
And she's really tough. But there's a campaign mode, which it's a light story that you're trying to figure out. And then there's a bunch of different ways to basically pass time. You have energy, or stamina they call it. And stamina, certain things use stamina up, and as you run out of stamina, you either have to wait for time or get unlocks or buy unlocks. However, they do a lot of things that's the PvE stuff. There's a lot of things. There's PvP methods. There's two ways. It's called Fight Pit. You get up to 5 people against another group's 5 people, and there's a ladder system, almost like an ELO. So like any other ladder, it's your fight, and as you go up the ladder, every 12 hours, if you're in the top 5 of your bracket, you get promoted to the next bracket. So that's something that you just you can do those 5 times a day, and you have to do it 10 minutes in between. And so it's kind of neat to try to tweak your characters because you equip them and they have skills and you can level up the skills. And some of them are broken. Like some of it, there's some, I would argue, game balance, but I think it's like certain things are broken if you're within like between level 30 and 40. But once you get over 40, the characters all have enough hit points or whatever to overcome the game breaking things.
Gotcha.
The other PvP thing is you do a squad. It's called Coliseum. It's 3 groups of 5 that fight each other. Now, here's the thing. You have to make your team, and they fight in order. And if you don't pay attention, some people you think would put their first stringers would all be in the first team. Well, some people will mix them up to where if you don't pay attention, it's part of the strategy is to how you lay your teams up when you fight against others.
And it looks like it's pretty much an auto combat system. Like you put them in your ranks and they do their thing.
To an extent. So you can fast forward because some of it's, I mean, in the beginning you can't fast forward. And then auto is for mostly, is for PvP. There's characters have health and energy. And when their energy bar fills up, they have an ultimate. And if you hit auto, it'll smart cast it whenever it thinks. Or some things it's better to not use auto because you can like stack abilities and stuff that the AI doesn't automatically do. And that's part of the strategy too, is putting together squads that abilities work well together. I can't remember what it is. There's a Scottish chick who has an axe, but it's a axe guitar.
Of course.
And when it's called axe guitar. When
also body spray.
Yes. When she does her ultimate, it improves your skills, your attack speed, everything. It's like a speed up. Mm-hmm. So if you have it on auto, sometimes it doesn't reuse it strategically. Like I would save hers, and as everyone else's ultimate comes online, I would hit hers, which then gives everyone like a 10% boost, and then I would spam all the other ultimates and just wreck shop.
So just press R.
Yeah. Well, you have to R 5 times. There's some parts that are grindy to the game. Like in the beginning, there's certain items you need to, as you fully equip someone, you can promote them. So they start at green, and then they go to green 1, then blue 1, then purple 1, purple 2. Then there's, I think, I've never gotten past purple. I want to say it's gold. But you can level up your character, and the more they are, it's pretty exponential growth. Like in general, if you had a green character and a blue character, the same exact skill levels, the blue always win. He's more health, more stats. Mm-hmm. And so the whole game is to balance your gold and other resources you have amongst a myriad of little quests you can do to just level up and just keep getting the best guys. You can unlock new guys. There's every month there's a sign-in bonus. If you sign in, I think they give you like a couple freebies, like 28 days in the month. You get enough tokens to unlock the hero of the month. So they have, as long as you stick with the game, you get free stuff. Plus, there's chests you can open and get it. So it's a pretty fun game. Like it's. I usually hate games that once you're on a stamina, you're done. Or they have long timers, like Clash of Clans. Once you get really high in that game, you're babysitting a game. You get in for 5 minutes, hit next, and then you're on a 2-day timer.
Jeez,
I can't stand that. Like our buddy Adam still plays Clash of Clans, and he gets on and does like boom, 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 raid, and then he's done for 24 to 48 hours. Like there's just nothing to do because everything's on timers.
So that's one thing I didn't like with World of Warcraft is dailies.
Yeah. Oh,
come on.
I hate dailies. So this game rewards you with dailies on doing all the things you can do in the game. They give you gems, which allow you to open cool stuff or refresh your stamina. So like I said, you could do this without sinking a dime in it and still have fun. I would really recommend it. It's a good time killer. Like so we get up in the morning and then like at lunch, I'll check it and do a couple of the things that have refreshed. And plus, if you're competitive at all, it's... part of it is fun is when you open the chests, you're like, did I get enough tokens or did I get this new champ? So now me and my wife are at the point, she discovered it and told me about it, where we're about the same as amount of heroes we have. Mm. But when one of us gets a new one, the other one's like, God dang it. And then we have to try to get it or, well, there's this other one that I'm almost close to. And it's like, look what I got. So there's a little bit of friendly household competition. But it's free. So, and it works on everything. So Android and, well, not everything. I guess there's more than Android and iOS, but those are the major ones. It's also available on Kindle, which a lot of times people who have Kindles kind of get hosed occasionally for games because they don't have everything the Android market has. But this one actually is on it. Check it out. It's worth the download. And if you don't like it after 10, 15 minutes, you didn't waste any money. A little bit of time.
At least there's that. And your first 10 or 15 minutes sound like they'll be pretty smooth, too.
You're an hour and a half in, I think, because the way you keep leveling up and get stamina when you level. Mm-hmm. They give you the free crack in the beginning. Like, I think my wife played it for 2 weeks, and I finally said, "Fine, I'll get it." And on the way to some family's house, like a 45-minute drive, I was just like tap 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 tap. And we got there, and I was like, I just ran out of stuff. Okay, I got a good stopping point, but it was pretty deep into it. As far as mobile games of this type, I normally would hate these types of games, but this one, because they don't make the microtransactions necessary, I think this is a healthy way of doing microtransactions. It's pay to expedite, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can completely do every ounce of this game without a dime. It just makes things easier and faster if you spend some money.
Yeah, and I feel like the pay to expedite is a better plan than pay to win.
True pay to win, yeah.
I mean, it's not as good as pay to get the whole content, but
Yeah.
I mean, they build the game so it doesn't work like that. Like Duelist. Now that I got a job, I'm buying some packs. I'm paying to expedite.
Nice. So, Dragon Soul, again, you can find it everywhere. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
Just search for Dragon Soul game because there is a raid called Dragon Soul.
Yeah, the Dragon Soul game. It might pick up some with WoW, but it's actually fairly popular, so I don't think you're going to get too many mishits on a search.
You might find some dragon shoes. You know, Dragon Soul.
Oh, last
Or
thing,
like
sorry.
Haunted dragons.
The item names. So the items in the items are all goofy names in the beginning. It's like just a book of this and that, but there's like fake vampire teeth. This becomes one of the things. Hammer of Wicked Beats is another one.
Snap.
Yeah.
It's got wicked beats.
So the item names kind of tongue in cheek at fantasy RPG games, which makes me look at reading some of these items makes me laugh.
I used to play an old MMO that did the same thing. It like didn't take itself seriously. It was like pizza cutter of the enormous baboon would be like one of your weapons. It was Dungeon Defenders was the name of the game. It's not online anymore.
Gotcha.
But they used to have like literally you would have a pizza cutter, a huge pizza cutter, and be like an epic item.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
Or like instead of legendary, like they usually have like this. They have the same color system, color tier as World of Warcraft, but at legendary it's rainbow. Like the letters of the word are actually rainbow, changing colors. Like, oh snap! I got that rainbow hat.
Dome.
Dragon Soul.
Dragon Soul. Check it out. Yeah, there's a bunch of little details in that game that, like, once you pay attention, you see how things move or like what the name of the abilities are. You just kind of chuckle.
I like the art. It looks like they use Spine or Spriter, something like that, to animate. All right, studio updates, and then we record the intro. I go to sleep.
You look like you're gonna be doing a studio update for an hour.
Dude, I'll make it quick. Don't even worry. I don't know if I will. I don't know. All right.
Whoops. Sorry, I'm not ready. God dang it. I forgot what we were doing. So video up. Ryan, what is going on with the Studio Dombrowski?
For those first-time listeners, I make video games at my little quote-unquote studio, which is my house. It's an office in my house. I've been working on Suburban Scavengers, a fighting game that anybody that listens to the podcast probably knows about by now. It's set to release the early access demo. I don't know what I want to call it. the small version next Tuesday, which for those watching the live stream, it's a week from today. For those listening to the podcast on the day that it comes out, it's only a few days away. It's going to be pretty soon.
November 22nd?
Yep. It's almost here, just in time for Thanksgiving, so you can eat food and fight over a couch. just like you're probably going to do anyway when you want to fall asleep after eating turkey.
Truth.
I need to work that into some tweets, I think. But I did a lot of work on that. The first news on the docket related to that, for those local to Central Florida, I'll be demoing the game a day before release at the local gaming bar that just reopened last week, Games on Tap.
Oh, nice.
Monday, which is their fight night, I'm going to have a couple screens set up where people can play it. So you can check it out. You can play it one player as well. One player is in the game, so you can play one player or two player. It's for those interested in coming, it's 114 West Central Avenue, Winter Haven. So you can GPS it or Google it or whatever, and you'll be able to find it no problem. It's right on Main Street on a pretty big road.
I'll do my best to be out there.
Oh, Games on Tap is awesome, by the way. For anybody interested in, well, I mean, if you're interested in drinking, I mean, it's a bar.
Go on.
But I don't drink. But I still want to go there because I think they have 8 screens at the bar. So the bar is like an L shape. There's the main bar that's on the left where you can just get drinks if that's all you want to do. And the one that extends pretty much across the whole place, there's like 8 TVs, and they all have PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones, and you can play like Overwatch or Battlefield or Helldivers like we were talking about. It's super sweet. And I believe they have it set up so you can play either locally or online or a mix of both.
Oh, that's cool.
And then on the very end, they also have a Steam machine so you can play PC games. And then behind that, there's 100+ board games. I mean, there's a ton of them. That's what I've been playing. I went there 3 of the last 5 days that they've been open or something.
Nice.
And we've been playing a bunch of board games. Anyway, Games on Tap. You should check that out. They're not paying me for this. I just really like their establishment.
Take the wife out there.
So the game progress, in order to get the game ready to show to people, which I'm calling it at that state. The AI for single player is buggy, but the game is not meant to be played single player.
Yeah, it's just a feature, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's meant to be played with other people. So I finished up the menus. Originally, it was set up with the Orlando IX build. You just pressed X and you started, and it went into the game, and you played 1v1. That's all there was. But now that I'm releasing it into the wild, I need to kind of have things be explained because I'm not going to be there to explain it to them. Everybody in the other builds, I would say, this is how you do this. You know, you punch with this button, you grab the couch with this button, etc. And now I have a system that kind of guides through it. There's, at the main menu, you can either choose play, which takes you to 1 or 2 player options. And if you choose 1 player, you can choose which player. So now you don't have to always be Thad for player 1. You could be Jenny if you want.
Can you both be Jenny?
No.
Okay.
Because it would confuse people if they see 2 of the exact same player.
Sure.
I don't want to make another color for them. So I don't plan on making 2 of the same people available. So there's the play options. Then there's tutorial, which I kind of went a little bit of a cheeseball way. It's not the most effective tutorial, but I've implemented some things in the game that are tutorial-like, so it may not be as important. But the way I set up the tutorial is there's a list of mechanics on the left-hand side, and there's only like 10 mechanics in the entire game. It's not a whole lot. Just push, pull, how to jump, punch, block, all that. And it shows them on the left, and when you move the arrow, it'll show you on the right-hand side a visual representation, and it'll tell you at the top of the screen how to do it. So it's like, to push the couch, just walk using the left stick, and it'll show him walking into it, and the couch is pushing. Which, that was a pain in the ass to set up. For whatever reason, I couldn't use my original player and set the AI like I do for player 2. I had to just recreate all the animations and stuff manually, because Game Maker just didn't like it, the way that I have my players set up.
That's weird.
So I had to remake them. But after I started remaking, after like 1 or 2 of them, it was a lot of the same stuff. So it took a couple hours, whereas I thought it was going to take more than that. So the tutorial system is set up. There are a few little things that I added to kind of help the gameplay. When you're playing single player, you can press start on player 2's controller to join, and it's like a challenger arrived, and everything stops, like plays all this stuff, and then you can just get right into playing 2 player. Yeah, which, I mean, it wasn't too hard to implement. There's also a pause for 1 player, so you can pause the game. And from the pause, you can restart the game if you want with a single button press. I didn't make like an exit that'll bring you back to the menu or anything like that because it's a free version of the game. I mean, it doesn't need to be like ultra feature heavy like sound controls and things like that.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to play the game and get the core experience. So that menu is really, really basic. Like I said, the AI is still buggy. I doubt that I'll work on it before the end of the week, unless it's sometime on the weekend. I might. I'm not sure. But it works. Just occasionally, there are some scenarios where the AI forgets what it's supposed to be doing, and it'll push the couch the wrong way. It's pretty rare. I know what causes it. Like, I can go in and fix it eventually, but sometimes it'll get caught between states, and it just keeps pushing it to the left.
Oh, man.
And if you let it, it will push it all the way in. If you don't let it, it'll pick back up. Like, if you punch it, it's like, oh.
Like, my bad.
Yeah, it's funny because the punch it always resets all the AI states. So it's just like, it just wakes up. Just like when you see in a movie where somebody like, snap out of it, and smack him in the face. That's essentially what goes on in here. There's like a snap out of it. A couple other quality of life things for new players. Excuse me. If you're pushing the couch the wrong way, after like 1.5 seconds, it'll say wrong way on the screen. A lot of people, they think, oh, I started on the left, and if I move to the right, I'll push it. That's the right way. No, it's the wrong way, and it'll tell you that on the screen now. It'll also tell you, if you're trying to pull it into your house, it'll say, push it in.
Okay.
So, because a lot of people are like, why can't I pull it in? And to them, they're like, you should be able to do it. I could do that in real life. But if you can pull it in, your character's going to go inside the house and they can't be touched. That's not fun. Like, that's where the most intense gameplay is that last
foot.
last second. Yeah, like that last little bit. And if you just are able to pull it in and can't be punched anymore, like, what fun is that? That's not fun. You can't be sliding into somebody else's house and then, you're trespassing and they just shoot you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got you. I'm with you.
I also, on the Clash, since a Clash is a kind of unique thing to this game, it's not a normal thing for fighting games. It's only because there's an element that they're fighting over that this would even happen. So the Clash, for those who don't know, it shows a bar, and there's 2 arrows that are outside of the bar and a line that shows you where you're supposed to stop this marker that moves from left to right, and it slowly accelerates. But if you just look at that, you don't know that you have to press X to stop the marker. You don't know if you have to keep mashing the button. It's not really explained. So I have an X button picture right where that line is when it starts.
Okay.
And when your reticle gets a certain distance away, it'll fade out so you can see the line. So now it shows, okay, when the marker gets there, you should probably press X. I'm hoping it makes that association. Yeah. So like, marker touches it, press X. We'll see how well that works out once I get people playing it and testing it out. That's pretty much all the quality of life stuff that I've changed in it. Also, like, not really studio related, I started my new job today. So I'm not going to be able to work on my game as much, but I'm going to be able to fund it a little better. Like, I'm going to have a roof over my head.
I hear that's important.
Yeah. So things are a bit spread out right now, but once I get into the groove of working again, I was working a few months ago when I started this game, so it's not like I can't work on the game. It's just I have to get used to working at a different pace so I can give better estimates of when things will be out. I'm still hoping for a spring release of the full thing, and I think once the art starts rolling in, it'll be pretty simple.
A lot easier to do.
Because honestly, like, doing the menus and stuff didn't take as much time as I expected it to be, and a lot of it will be menu implementation for the future things. There's only going to be like 5 new mechanics in the whole game. Everything else is just menus. So it shouldn't take too crazy long. But yeah, I'm still hyped about finishing the game, which is important. When you start on something, you got to finish it in order to be successful. A lot of people I hear get burnt out before they even release it. I can't let that happen. So the whole reason I'm releasing this early version is for Greenlight. For those who don't know what Greenlight is, there's a
super important
platform on PC called Steam, where you can buy games. It's like the biggest one in the world. And they have a system that allows people to put their things on the store called Greenlight. If you go to my website, you'll be able to find it. Or if you go to suburbanscavengers.com, there's going to be a link to Greenlight. You go to my Twitter, there's going to be a link to the Greenlight. Everywhere there will be links to Greenlight. Even after you download the game, inside the game there will be a link to Greenlight. You can just press a button, it'll take you straight there. give yes votes. Even if you don't want to buy it, just give me a yes vote so I can put it on the store. You don't have to buy it by giving it a yes vote. It just lets Steam know that people are interested in it, and they'll be able to make
include it in the marketplace.
Yes. So please, if you could, just give it a thumbs up on Steam. If you don't have a Steam account, it's free to make one. You don't have to buy anything if you have an account. Thumbs it up.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have for my studio stuff this week. It may be a little smaller next week, like I said, because I got more life stuff coming up, but I'm going to still keep it up as best as I can. So, the Ninja Fat Man. I did your so thing.
You did.
What's been going on? What are the plans? What's in the future? Let me look at your crystal ball.
You want to look at my ball?
Yeah, let's look at your ball.
So,
put it back.
I teased on Twitter.
Quit teasing me with your ball.
That the quote mistakes were made. And
yeah,
that
what was
find
that
out
about?
today.
I saw that.
Oh my god, I'm so mad. So I have a 4 hard drive system, but they're not rated. I have 2 solid state drives. One's for my OS. One is for some very specific games that, like Arc, does not work well if it's not on solid state. It takes forever to load.
Okay.
Because it's still pre-alpha. And then I have a hard drive for pictures, because I have wife and kid, and we take a lot of pictures and friends and everything. And then another one for programs and other media. Well, the programs and media one died. And my only copy of Glimpse was on that hard drive.
Are you kidding, dude?
I know I'm an idiot, and
your only copy?
Oh, I never thought. I'm like, oh well, it's whatever.
I guess I should have filled you in. You know how many copies I have of my game?
Like 1,000. I know, and
like
there is
4, but 5. No,
I am not making up excuses. There is legit no reason I shouldn't have had backups.
Yeah,
but it is gone, and I actually started making some leeway into it, and.
Dude, like, it almost makes me want to tear up. Like, thinking about like, even though it's like your stuff, I know you've like worked on a lot, but like, that makes me emotional, dude. Because if I lost my game I've been working on for 4.5 months, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Dude.
I am so upset. I haven't started again. It's been 3 days. I can't bring myself to like start back at importing sprites, and then creating player objects, and then initialize. Like, every time I think of the steps,
it was hard disk drive that went bad, right?
Yeah.
Did you bring it up to TechMate?
Well, I got it recovered, but half the files are corrupted. There was issues. Yeah.
Dang. You should still bring it up to him.
I can try.
So this is a plug for another local business that I used to work for, TechMate, a computer shop.
And friend of the show.
They fix computers. Yeah.
They'll look at it for free.
Shout out to Adam.
Shout out to Adam and TechMate in Winter Haven. I mean, I could probably still do that, but it's been 2 days, and I can't. I literally last night, the wife went to bed. I was caught up on TV and was like, all right, let's start building a foundation. I literally imported 2 sprites and went and walked away because it was so frustrating to be like, I actually had gotten past some of the speed bumps I had. I know where to go find the couple bits of code I borrowed, like from Reddit and stuff. I was like, oh, thank you for doing this for me. And like, I have some of my Heartbeast notes and stuff, so I can get back there. It's just going through it all to do it again is.
Do you already have a backup of this?
I even started. Like, literally,
okay.
The 2 sprites, no, because it's right now it's a pink box and a wall.
So this is a good deciding point, because my first game that I tried to make that wasn't tutorial based did not end up getting finished, and it wasn't the same reason as yours, but the core thing is there, like, it's not finished now.
Yeah. And
if you feel like maybe it's too big or not something that you're still excited about, maybe you just don't want to work on it anymore. Like, I would get that. But if you think you just don't want to make games specifically, that's a whole different story.
No, I'm not there. It's just starting over on this game. Because it's been through like 15 iterations. I've literally rebuilt it from scratch 5 times except for the art elements that are placeholders, because I've like learned either better ways of doing it, or it was mostly better ways of doing it, or suggestions from you, suggestions from other people online of how to control things or gameplay, quality of life type stuff. So I won't have to go through all that again, but the thought is just literally it drives me crazy. And the only other idea for a game I have, which I do want to start one day, is big.
Well, maybe you can brainstorm, or just give it a break for a little while until things kind of calm down. Take the drive up there. Maybe they can salvage something. A lot of times you can fix errors on a drive through hard drive testing programs, and it will actually recover a good chunk of data.
Yeah, we can try.
You might get lucky.
Like literally, there was a point I was so mad. I wasn't like not quit, but like I'll just download Unity. Download Unity, start my other gigantic project. But even that one, I'm like,
that's not why. I mean, downloading Unity, I'll support you on that. But starting a huge game, that's probably not a good idea, because Unity is a good streamlined, quick tool too for making games. They're just similar to Game Maker, it's just 3D as opposed to 2D. They do have 2D like functionality in it, but it's more tailored towards 3D. Yep. But my like small experience that I've had with it, when I drop things into Unity, I was like, oh my god, like I would take so long to make this in Game Maker, and I just literally just dropped it in. Which I'm sure there's things like that in the asset store for Game Maker, but they were just already built in, so it just wow factor was there for me.
So I will start back up on Glimpse. It's the nervous hurrah, like the emotional, like altogether there's like 25-30 hours invested, and like I felt I was actually getting somewhere. I actually figured out some of my big roadblocks, so I'll get back there. I just need time.
Well, as Dorian Tyrell said in The Mask, when Cameron Diaz's character asked for the last kiss, he said, "There's always time."
I thought you said Dorian Tyrell. I was like, Game of Thrones?
No, that's not Game of Thrones.
The Tyrells are the Game of Thrones.
I wish Dorian Tyrell was in Game of Thrones.
There's other stuff, though, besides bad news. Well, it's 50% good, 50% bad. I put up some more YouTube videos, some Titanfall gameplay.
YouTube.
And then I played one, itch.io, who we are big fans of because it's like Steam but for indie games, right? So they focus on a lot of indie games. A lot of people throw out their stuff for free, or there's free, there's pay what you think it's worth. There's a couple options to really support indie, and I really recommend it. It's itch.io.
Yep, and I have games on there already too.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. They had a big, what'd they call it? The consolation sale. It seemed like it was like quasi-election related.
It's like, stop thinking about the election. Here's free stuff.
And there was 3 games that we're going to talk about in the show. I recorded one video for the podcast probably in a couple weeks called Gone Home, just to tease it a little bit.
I feel like I want to play that one next. Because you're all scared. I want to see what it's about. Because I've heard other people talk about it. And their experience was like, I hate it.
you get a phone, you leave a phone call to have someone pick you up from that you're going to be driving yourself. No, it's just the very first 30 seconds.
Okay.
Literally, you call home, you're in Europe, and you're like, I got a ride from the airport, I'll meet you at the house tonight. And you get to the house and nobody's there.
Okay.
And the game starts.
All right.
And it's a dark, fucking rainy, stormy night, and the house is quiet, and we've talked about my hatred of horror, and I don't even think it's a horror game. But anyway, we'll talk about it more in a future podcast.
You can't get me. I walk through a dark orange grove every night to get into my house.
Your house is literally hell to me. I would park my car in your door. So I recorded some video for that, and then YouTube I put up Titanfall. I'm also making a kind of best of Titanfall. There's some things that wouldn't make they're 30-second clips that you can on Xbox, if you have Connect, you can say Xbox record that, and it will go back in time and
that's awesome.
Record 30 seconds. So if you do something really cool, it's called the game DVR, or you can just record. So those individually wouldn't make good videos, but stringing them together as a couple, like, this is some cool things, and boom, so I'm working on that. And then I played. Why I brought up Itch.io in the first place? There's a panoramical. Is a game.
Something like that.
I think I'm saying it right.
Paranormal, maybe something like that.
Yeah. I feel bad now. These guys worked hard in this game. It's less of a game than it is a audio and visual experience.
That's what I say in the bedroom.
Wow.
Oh man.
With that being said, audio is really important to that game. So I recorded on YouTube Live. So I was trying out YouTube Live because we had some weird things going on with Facebook Live last week. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and throw up a straight live YouTube video with my reactions to the game. And again, sorry, I hiccuped.
Like a drunkard.
Yeah.
You should be in a Disney ride.
So the visual aspect of this game was definitely apparent. OBS, for whatever reason, my desktop audio was muted.
Nice.
I heard the game. Nobody on YouTube heard it. So the video, which is just looks like seizure-inducing lights, then without the audio, is useless. So I recorded a 20-minute video that is about a game that is 50% the audio.
I vote you recreate it with your mouth. You say, whatever
there is some trippy sounds. You would actually really like the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
There's 9 sliders that it changes every time. Control the pitch and frequency and like how often a sound goes and how deep. It not only adjusts the audio part but the visual part to match. So you get these kind of trippy landscapes or like these flashing lights, and you have like a mini rave in your house. But it's really cool to play with. I liked it, so we'll definitely talk about that one too.
In depth.
But so yeah, that was my other bad news, was the muted video. That about an audio game. And the last thing, we'll go with good news. I put up a Twitter poll. I have a bunch of series that have been sitting in my computer for a long time.
Waiting to be played. Untouched, dust collecting.
Most of it are like, I knew they'd be large endeavors. They're not like quick, give it a day or 2 games. If I dive in it for a weekend, I'll be done. So it was Borderlands.
Oh, yeah.
I've played a little bit of Borderlands 1, a little bit of Borderlands 2, but I'm talking like hour here, hour there. BioShock, which I've not played. It was a gift, and I haven't played it, honestly, because I'm worried about being scared.
I'll just warn you, it is creepy.
Yeah, see,
it creeped me out the first time I played it. You're gonna have trouble starting the game. I'm just gonna let you know that.
See, I'm just not gonna play it again or ever. You don't understand.
Because the beginning, I'm gonna give a little spoiler for those who haven't played BioShock because it's been out for 10 years. You get in a plane crash, and you're swimming through the wreckage. And then you find this, like, sphere thing, and it's a submarine, and it shows you where you're going, the city of Rapture. But when you get out of that sphere, even before you get out of the sphere, before it opens, it makes you not want to get out of that sphere.
See, I'm already... So BioShock, Borderlands, Assassin's Creed. I have almost all of them on PC, like through different, like there was an Origin sale that if you bought, I forget what I bought. I bought 2 games and you got the first 3 Assassin's Creed for free. And then like Black Flag was a Games for Gold game for free.
Sweet.
And then there's a tactics one called Assassin's Creed China was also a free thing. So I've gotten most of it free. I've bought a couple. I just don't have the most recent one. But I could start those games. And then the last is Halo. I've played a little bit of Halo 1. But I bought the Master Chief Collection. And then I have 5. So they're all sitting on my Xbox to be played. I just haven't... I didn't want to just dive into 5. I wanted to start at the beginning. Because I know Master Chief's a thing. But I don't know why it's a thing. And I don't know why... I understand there's actually a story and it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think the only issue maybe with Halo, jumping into it now, is because when it originally came out, the first one, it was pretty groundbreaking for like the platform it was on and everything, and for shooters. And now it's a little more dated.
Well,
That's an original Xbox title.
Well, that's the part of the good thing about the Master Chief Collection. It's up. They're actually reskinned it, so they upped the polygon counts and redid a lot of it to make it look a lot better. And I saw side by side. It's night and day difference.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not a good game. It definitely is.
So with that poll being said, it was kind of a Assassin's Creed and Halo. Really, no, I got a couple votes. Then it came down to BioShock and Borderlands.
Man, I should have put my vote in for BioShock.
So the winner is going to be Borderlands. It actually got 55% of the vote. So I have Borderlands 1, 2, and the prequel and all the DLC. I bought it all recently in a kind of a bundle deal.
Yeah, and I've played through 1 and 2, so it'll be something that we can mutually talk about, because I'm a huge fan of Borderlands. My top hours in any game on Steam is Borderlands 2.
Nice. So when that comes out, or when I start that, I'll probably do some YouTube videos of just me playing. I mean, everyone who's wanted to play that game has played it already. I think it's been out quite a bit, but seeing my reaction to stuff might be fun. So that's what's going to be in my future. Titanfall I'm still going to play it, but it's the shiny new toy is kind of rubbed off on it, so I can play a little bit, then work on other stuff and not be distracted like it was 2 weeks ago, where every waking moment was new game, new game, new game, new game. So that's pretty much it for me.
Dude.
It's like a long effing episode.
Serious. How do we want to do this?
It might just be Helldivers and studio update.
I mean, if you want to keep it at an hour, but if you want to... Helldivers. If you want to put one of the other clips in there, or both of the clips, I don't know. I had a poll up for Helldivers, though, so I kind of feel obligated.
Yeah, I don't mind. Dragon Soul, I don't think was that long, was it?
The two that you did, I think were about 10 minutes apiece, something like that.
It's if you want to can them, like I said, it's more than fine.
Okay. The only thing I like about doing that is like the references that we make sometimes are related to previous parts of the episode, but
I don't think that was a big...
It'll probably have to be Helldivers and Studio Update. And then I think we're close to having 2 episodes canned, which is what we need for
Christmas.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get those thrown together soon.
All right, so everyone who is tuned in and watching on live, this is part of the show where we're done recording the main stuff. So we do the intro stuff we'll do, and then we try to think of the unique intro we do every week in the title. So again, thanks for listening. I'll say it again later, but this is where we kind of go for a few minutes and try to figure out
what the hell
we're going to talk about.
I actually need to re-record the Patreon backers thing, because there's a new one.
What?
There's a new one.
What?
That is in the elite. So they must receive a shout out.
Bro.
Shout it out. So I'm going to do one with all 3 of them. I'll go ahead and record it right now. Where is it at? A very special thanks goes out to my Patreon elite backers, Patty Burnham, Colton Daniels, and Sandra Strickland. Your support is greatly appreciated. It helps pay for this podcast that you're listening to right now, as well as other things like running the business, things like that. Thank you so much. Boop. Export. Patreon. Gotta keep it up. Keep it up.
Okay, a podcast about all things gaming, from streaming development, new games, and old AAA to indie games, and deleted hard drives.
Backing that thing up.
That's actually pretty...
I'm down for that. It's easy enough. Because the studio update was a pretty big part of it. And I can just make the title of it have something to do with Helldivers.
Okay. Do you want it lyrically? Back the thing up. You remember the song?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You will find mother... Won't you back that ass up? I know how I'm gonna say it. And the name, the title of the episode, I'll figure out later. Like,
Helldivers.
yeah, Helldivers. It's a game made by a game called Helldivers.
Shut up. Ready?
Alright, let me get a recording started. File new. Recording. Hi, I'm Ryan Dombrowski of game development studio Doombrowski.
I'm Nathan, YouTuber, rookie game dev, the Ninja Fat Man.
And together we are
Doom Ninja, a podcast about all things gaming, from streaming to development, new games and old AAA to indie games.
And backing that thing up!
I love it every time.
Oh, it clipped a little, but it should be fine. It's very little. Yeah. Export. Ep 16. Intro. Ryan. Word. Good. Next week, we may have to do it anyway. If our news comes through. We may have to re-record the outro. I know when we recorded it, you had pink eye, and some of the words just sounded a little off.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's my, I scratched my cornea. I was fucking miserable.
yeah.
Dude. I've never been that whole day sucked. I watched the video and I'm like, God, I look just like ass. All right, so with that being said, that's the end of the live recording. Thank you for everyone who checked us out live, or if you're watching this later on Facebook, it'll also be up on YouTube. And then Wednesday, the Patreon backers will get the podcast.
Yep.
And Thursday, it comes out on all major platforms, so iTunes, Stitcher, Tuned In, Google Play. There's even some other stuff coming up in the future I'm kind of excited about. Yep. One is the largest retailer in the world.
What's that? Steam?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Audible is starting to do podcasts, so trying to get in there.
Audible. Also, what the hell was I thinking of? Oh, yeah. The gameplay footage of Helldivers. I put commentary on the gameplay footage of the games that I play now, so there's going to be a video of that up on my YouTube as well, if you want to check that out.
All right, so thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Later.